In this movie, I'll be using Acrobat 11 to demonstrate some of the commenting tools in Adobe Acrobat. Now, the tools will work the same in Adobe Reader, so if you don't have the full version of Acrobat and you just have Reader, that'll be totally fine. You can still do all the same functions with comments. And so the reason comments are so great is that they allow editors and designers to have a two-way communication regarding a printed piece. Now, they moved the commenting tools from Reader 9 to Reader 10, and in Reader 10 and 11 they're in the same place, and they're going to be over here under Comment. You control that open, and your drop downs might already be open. So you can see in this list it doesn't have any comments yet. The comments are going to be listed here once we add some. Now, you'd think that PDF comments are called comments, but they're not. They're actually called annotations. And annotations are sticky notes and highlights and text edits, that type of thing. You can also have drawing markups, which is handy if you need to draw different kinds of shapes. But right now we're just going to be focusing on the annotations. And I'm going to talk about them in order from left to right, top to bottom. The first one is the sticky note, and that's super easy. Everyone can add sticky notes, and that's the first inclination when you have text that you want to edit. You grab the sticky note tool, you click on it, and you start typing, and you start giving instructions. And maybe you say in the second paragraph, the second line down, the third word, I want you to change some text. Well, the sticky note tool isn't the best choice for that, because then what you might be inclined to do is to also use the highlight tool to highlight some text, and what you use the sticky note tool for is to type instructions regarding the highlighted text. And so you'll see here, if you use both tools, you've got two comments here on the side of the text that you're referencing and then the instructions for that text. But what that means is that whoever is going to be inputting those changes then has two comments to deal with, and that kind of complicates things, and it's easy to, if you have a lot of comments on a page, it's easy to lose track of which sticky notes reference which highlighted text. And so I encourage you to only use one. What most people don't know is that any comment can be a pop-up note, and so you right click on it and you choose Open Pop-up Note. And so then you can add your instructions here for whatever you want your designer to do regarding that text. And so you'll notice over here it's a highlight, but it's also just one sticky note. So once the designer has incorporated whatever changes that you have here in your sticky note, they just have one thing to check off. So from a designer standpoint, this is really, really handy to use the commenting tools in such a way as to reduce the number of them over here. You want to be clear in your communication and use as few comments as possible. So the next tool that I'm going to discuss is the Add Text Comment. And it's a handy tool in that you can add whatever text that you want. Like if you're filling out a form that someone like from your doctor's office that hasn't had all the form recognition applied to it, or a scanned paper document, you can use the Add Text tool, which is just like use it like a typewriter, just type right over it, and it's a great tool. I wouldn't necessarily use it for making editorial changes, but for filling out forms, it's really handy. I'm going to skip these top three because they're a little bit beyond the scope of this video today. The next tool I'm going to talk about is Insert Text at Cursor. So let's say you have a paragraph of text and you want it right here. What you can do is go into your Word document or your, wherever you have your text that you want to add there, and you can just click and paste in your text. And so that way the designer knows that they just can copy all the text that's in that sticky note and put it right at that insertion point. The next tool is the Replace Text tool. And so what happens with this tool is that when you can highlight some text, and what it's going to do is give it a blue cross out, but it's also going to open up a sticky note at the same time. And so the designer will know that whatever text is crossed out there needs to be replaced with whatever is in that sticky note. And you might be inclined to do a red cross out line and then in a separate sticky note add some text, but this Replace Text tool is really handy because it's again a two-in-one. It crosses out the text and replaces it all at the same time. The next tool is the Strikethrough. Again, so if you just want to just remove a block of text, you just highlight it with the Strikethrough tool and it gives it a red line. The next tool is the Underlined tool. Again, it's pretty straightforward. It's just going to give an underline to your text. And again, you can use make it as a pop-up note. So you can right click on it. Whoops. You can right click on that, open pop-up note, and type whatever type of instructions that you want. Maybe you want to italicize this text. That's a great use for it. And what most people don't know about these commenting tools is that they have the default colors, but you can change the colors to whatever you want. So let's say you have red text, then to cross it out with a red line, it's easy to kind of lose the annotation in the color of the text. So you can change the color to whatever you want. And the way that you do that is by typing in go to the Help panel. I'm just doing this to demonstrate where you can find the panel. You're going to search for the Properties toolbar. And it's not to be confused with document properties, which is Command D. That's what you use to find creation date and metadata, that type of thing. You want the toolbar items, Properties toolbar, Command E. Or if you're on a Windows machine, Control E. So I'm going to click on a comment now, and the color is red, but you have all these other colors to choose from, and you can even make your own color. You can also change the opacity to something else. You can displays the author name, and if you want to have more properties, it'll open up a separate dialog box where you can change the author, you can change the subject line, and even if you use document review, it'll give you a review history. But usually for simple purposes, I just use the appearance and general. So let's say I want this to be a different color. I would just choose maybe blue or teal. And another interesting thing to note about this is that this properties toolbar is contextual. So notice that if I have the sticky note highlighted or selected, the properties up here just reference the sticky note. But once I go inside my sticky note in the text field, the properties toolbar is contextual and it changes to display different font cases. You can have bold, you can have italics, you can indent things, you can do superscript, subscript. It's got a variety of basic text formatting properties in here. So if you need to have some of your text bold, you can just select that text and make it bold. You can even increase the font size. So it gives you additional options as an editor to communicate information a certain way. Like if you need to superscript things, or you need to really call the designer's attention to a particular block of text, like here, bold this one word, and you can actually in the sticky note bold that particular word instead of having a whole paragraph that says bold this word, this word, this word, and this word. You can just actually format the text as you like right in the sticky note. And so it's going to give the designer just additional information to be able to input your changes properly. The next tool that I want to talk about is the text add note to text field. Again, it's a 2-in-1, which is great. Before, when we made this highlight, we highlighted it and then opened the pop-up note. But with this 2-in-1 tool, it does both at the same time, which is really handy. It adds the highlight and a pop-up note all at the same time. This third tool is, oh gosh, it's great. It's called Text Correction Markup. And it's sort of like if you're using a word processor, in that you would select the text and then do something to it. You can either retype over it, you can press delete, or well, let's demonstrate those. I'm going to press the delete key and it automatically added the red strike through. I'm going to select some more text with that tool. and I'm going to start retyping. And it automatically changed it to the replace text and gave it a blue strike through and added a pop-up note. But you'll notice this first word is misspelled. There is a bug in this tool in that whatever letter is the first letter, it skips it. So I retyped text here, but it typed e-type text. So what I recommend is that when you use this tool, select your text, and if you're going to start replacing, press the space bar and then start typing. So now you'll see that all of the comments that we made on this document appear over here on the right side in the comments list. And the designer can go through, and after he or she has incorporated all these changes, she can simply mark them off as being completed and then sort by checkmark status, and all the ones that are checkmarked get grouped at the top. All the ones that are not checkmarked get grouped at the bottom. And so it's a really easy way for the designer to be able to clearly see what is done and what is not done, and so no changes get missed. I remember one of my first jobs, we would print out the manual, they would handwrite the changes, they would deliver the manual to me back with sticky notes on all the pages. I had to go through and input all those changes and then print out a new copy, and an editor would compare the new copy with the old copy and deliver it back to me with all the sticky notes of stuff that I had missed. And so what I love so much about PDF commenting is that we can skip that whole process, and I can just clearly see by looking at the list of sorted comments what's done and what's not done, and so I don't miss any changes. So this commenting tools are going to help you as an editor or as a designer communicate better with your clients or with your boss or with your customers, and it's going to help save time and frustration, and hopefully save you some money. Thank you for watching. I'm Kelly Vaughn, Document Geek.